So now, Winter Storm Scott is coming in right now. It's actually in California right now. The storm that will be here tomorrow evening is in California right now. So this storm is moving extremely fast. Basically, it's going to merge with some energy in the Rockies. And so the storm is going to get kind of a boost. So this low pressure system that's coming in from California and is moving really fast, it's going to reform east of the Rockies, while the parent low dies over the Sierra Nevada. The secondary low will reform in the Rockies, and just east of the Rockies in eastern Colorado, it will then dip down into the south, and then it will go up the coast. So this motion of the storm will cause us, New York City and most of the East Coast, from like from western North Carolina, east westward, to be in snow and cold. So this line of cold and snow will progress northeastward from western North Carolina through the mid-Atlantic and into southern New England, where a widespread 4 to 8 inches should occur, with locally higher amounts as you get closer into New England, since the storm will be a little stronger. So from the city on north and eastward, especially north of the city, there is a very high potential for 8 to 12 inches of snow, with the highest amounts likely being north of the city, from the city on northward. Boston should get 6 to 9 inches, higher amounts being being west of I-495 thoroughfare, Route 28. So Winter Storm Scott is going to bring New York City a pretty good amount of snow. The thing is with Scott, it's that Winter Storm Scott, there's still some disagreement with them among the models, especially with the high resolution models and the other models like the GFS, the NAM, and the Euro. The NAM is showing like a little bit less snow than what I was showing the other day, with the high resolution models actually showing more. So the forecast that Amy Freeze had this morning, that I thought was well overdone, might actually be more accurate, though the amounts, though the heaviest snowfall totals will not be all the way upstate, but actually be shifted further south. So I think New York City will get 8 to 12 inches. So if you're on Twitter and you live in the Northeast, you might know this guy. His Twitter handle is NSFW Weather, WX, NSFW WX. He's a very good forecaster. He handles winter weather events very well. He really knows what he's talking about, and he's really good out there, And sometimes we talk, but I definitely think, and he is on top of all the models. He really knows what he's talking about. You should follow him, and also Northeast NEWX, I think, on Twitter. And you also, if you ever want to look at the models, just go to Tropical Tidbits and look at the HDRPS model. So when you go to Tropical Tidbits, you might want to look at that model, and all the products are available. However, the European, if you want to look at the snowfall stuff and the actual stuff from the European, you'll have to have a subscription to a weather site called weathermodels.com. They provide some more products, but you have to pay. It's up to like 30. The cheapest I think is $35 a month. So it's meant for like professional meteorologists. I'm not a pro yet. I haven't even gone to school yet for meteorology. I am planning on starting my first meteorology classes this fall, actually. I'm planning on transferring to Stony Brook to officially major in broadcast meteorology. The reason I know what I'm talking about is because, I'm like obsessed with weather. Even though I don't have any official training, I've taken like these free tests online, and I got, all A's. But these are like volunteer classes. But of course, let's talk about the storm. So the time frame for the storm will be beginning early to mid-afternoon tomorrow. Between 3 and 5 p.m. is when the snow should start. Actually, around 5 p.m. I believe the snow should start. It'll quickly become heavy by late evening, and the snow should be ending by around 7 or 8 Monday morning. This quick hitting storm depends on its speed and its intensity, could produce anywhere from 6 to 12 inches. But my general forecast is calling for the city northward 8 to 12 inches. While southern New Jersey might actually get very little snow, because they might be on the warmer side of things. Like southern New Jersey might only get like 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 inches, especially far southeastern New Jersey and the mid-Atlantic, like the Delmarva Peninsula, is going to get mostly rain. Like Cape May, New Jersey, I'm only expecting them to get 1 to 3 inches. And for the city, it's, as I said, the city itself should get 8 to 12 inches. With, you know, if you live on the south coast of Queens or in Long Island, you might get 6 to 8, while like Bronx and Westchester counties should be getting maybe 9 or 10 inches of snow. So that's how I believe it at the moment. You know, so it looks, from one point it looks like we were going to get a lot. Then the models said it was going to be less, and now it's shifting more. So there was some, you know, some windshield washing, not really with the track, but more so with the intensity. So if this storm really intensifies quickly, that will mean more snowfall, not only because of more precipitation with the storm, but as the storm deepens, it actually kind of acts as a braking mechanism, and it kind of dams up the flow of the jet stream a little bit. And even though this jet stream is really powerful, just if it intensifies fast enough, the forward momentum of the storm might be reduced by several miles an hour. Though it doesn't sound like much, a 5-mile-an-hour reduction in speed could mean 60 miles in 12 hours. So imagine getting maybe an hour or 2 hours more of snow just because the storm is intensifying further. So 2 hours more because of its slowing down. I mean, forward momentum slowing down, maybe an extra hour because it might have more precipitation. That could be 2 to 3 extra hours of snow, of maybe 2 hours of heavy snow and then an hour extra of light snow. So that could mean a couple extra, 2 to 3 extra inches of snow. So that's why my forecast is basically calling for 8 to 12 inches. I yesterday made a bold forecast and I called for 4 to 7. My area got about 4 inches. Some other areas in Queens got 4.7 from what I heard. And well, this area is very urbanized, so there might have been some effects like the urban heat island effect here. Like Queens Village got closer to 5 inches. Some parts of New Jersey got closer to 6. Even though the forecast called for 1 to 3 inches, I knew we were going to get more than 3 when I saw that bright banding coming in on radar last night. And it definitely came down really hard. I actually went outside and filmed, if you saw my last video, and it was coming down really ferociously. That snow lasted until around 6 a.m. And in hours between 4 and 6 a.m., we picked up about 2 inches of snow. So snowfall rates were about 1 to 1.5 inches per hour throughout that event. However, from what the from what the RPM is showing in the other models, we will be having a brief period of 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates here in the city for a few hours. It's not going to be a long duration event. It's definitely going to be longer than the storm we had last night. However, this system is going to be hundreds of miles long, extending from all the way from the Florida Panhandle all the way to the Mid-Atlantic. But it's going to be moving so quickly, like a speeding car having forward momentum of 60 miles an hour, that it's going to be, the precipitation will start and end within maybe 12, 13 hours, maybe not even that much. Might all start and end within maybe 10, 11 hours. So that heavy snow, that really heavy 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates might only be 4, maybe 5 hours tops. And most of it will be overnight Sunday into Monday. So the heaviest snows will be Sunday night. When we're sleeping, it's when it's really going to fall. I'm walking away from it. And I am planning, and since I really don't have anything to do Monday, I'm probably going to do another filming, another live event Sunday night. Or it's not going to be overnight. It's actually going to be Sunday evening, late Sunday evening, with the heaviest being between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. So you're going to have I believe, a 6-hour window for us to get our heaviest accumulations, which will be between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. Sorry, I'm just a little tired because I didn't get much sleep last night. And also, beside weather, when I give a thanks out, somebody today paid a bill for me and my best friend. We went out for dinner today, and she anonymously paid our bill. I didn't even know her name, and she paid almost our whole bill. And I was entirely shocked. I'm so grateful for what she did. I wish nothing but joy and happiness for her. Whoever you are, if you're seeing this video, just know that I am so grateful for what you have done, and I don't know how to thank you. I mean, this is why I'm saying this in a public video. We were eating at TGIF here on Austin Street, and that kind lady was nice enough to pay almost our whole bill. Like, she literally paid like 90% of the bill. It was a shock, and she didn't even offer. She just did it. Like, she just did it, and it really made my day. I mean, my day was going pretty good, but that just takes the cake. Like, this week has been kind of hard for me. So maybe this is a good sign, and maybe this is a sign that actually I will get that job. Like, the way things have been going for me lately, maybe I'm definitely going to get that Starbucks job. I have a good feeling about it. And hopefully there are more, people continue to do good deeds for one another. I mean, maybe this is because earlier this week I saw a person in need and I helped them out. I saw a homeless person that was in need and I gave them some money. I mean, I'm not going to say how much, but I helped them out, and I always like helping people. It's really nice when somebody does something nice to you. But now I'm going to go back on the discussion of the storm. So I'm expecting, as I said, 8 to 12 inches. Northern New England might get 16 to 18 out of this, especially in Maine and into Nova Scotia. Because some parts of Nova Scotia, there's a possibility this storm might have dumped at least 2 feet of snow. This is from the storm we had last night, because it was intensifying, and it was also a very slow mover. So the fact that it was moving slow, like really slow, like creeping along, compared to this storm that we're going to get tomorrow, since it was moving so slow and has so much heavy precip on it, especially in its northern fringes. There's some parts of Nova Scotia likely got between 24 and 30 inches of snow. So this is what we got from last night. This is about what we got from last night. And it's a very wet snow, as you can tell. It's not a dry snow, it's a very wet and watery snow. So we had about 4 inches, and the snowfall water ratio was about, I would say 10 inches. 1 inch of liquid equals about 8 to 9 inches of snow. The reason for that is because when the snow was coming down, when the precipitation started, it was sleet, and the snow didn't change. We didn't have to change over to snow until about an hour after the precipitation started, because of the evaporational cooling. I mean, the precipitation had to get really heavy for the evaporational cooling to cool down the atmosphere around 5,000 feet from the mid-30s down to at or below freezing. So that's why it took so long for the precip to change over. While we were closer to freezing at ground level, it took a while for the atmosphere above us to become freezing. And remember, when I was walking outside yesterday before the changeover occurred, I was getting drizzle and sleet, with the sleet being from the upper levels and the drizzle actually being from the lower levels. So there was a cloud ceiling around like 2,000 feet. So why we were getting sleet? So okay, there was a warmer layer above, the sleet layer. So you had snow coming down, melting into rain, and then refreezing at another layer of cold temperature. So probably around 7 or 8,000 feet, and then in the lower levels there was about maybe 1,000-foot layer of temperatures around 33 degrees. So not enough for the sleet to melt, but warm enough that the lower level clouds that were around 1,500 feet were producing drizzle and not sleet. So it was the upper layers between, I would say, 4 and 8,000 feet, or 4 and 6,000 feet, where you had above freezing temperatures that caused the sleet to fall. Maybe the freezing level might have been around, I would say. So you had kind of a double warm and cold layer, like cold, warm, cold, and then warm right near the ground. But it wasn't the warm layer that was near the ground where we weren't getting snow. It was because the warm layer that was wedged between the two layers of cold. So as the precipitation got very heavy, that warm layer shrunk and got taken over by the evaporational cooling, because there where you were having that warm layer I would say dew points were probably in the 20s, and the temperatures were probably in the mid-30s, so it probably cooled it down to 32 degrees, and that's how you had to change over from sleet to snow. And I was going on Twitter explaining how it was going to occur and how it was occurring, and I said, and I went to bed for an hour, and when I woke up in an hour, we were getting sleet mixed with snow when I went to bed. So an hour later, I set my alarm out for an hour on my phone. I went outside, and there was about 1 to 1.5 inches of snow already on the ground. It was coming down really heavily. And that's when I made that previous live video. So by this time tomorrow, we will be getting snow. It will probably just be starting around, as I said, 5 p.m. By 10 or 11 p.m., it should be coming down very heavily, between 1 and 2 inches an hour. And depends on how far west and north the heaviest snow gets, the heaviest precipitation gets. There's a chance that heaviest precip might not actually be north of the city, might actually be from the city on southward, because that's what some of the other models have been anticipating. If we get all snow throughout the storm, say it starts as snow, ends as snow with no mixing in the city, because there will be cold temperatures aloft, like the 32-degree line will be south of the city, so we will be on the cold side of things. So sleet is very unlikely this time, because I've been looking at the soundings, and it looks very good for snow, even more so than it did yesterday and last night. So temperatures tonight will be in the low 30s. Highs tomorrow should be in the mid to upper 30s. So it will start off as maybe as a mixture of rain and snow, or all snow, and temperatures will quickly drop. So thank you all for watching, and I'll make another live video later this evening around 10 p.m. So actually around 11 p.m. So 2 more hours, because I need to charge my phone. Thank you for watching, and I will also, and the live video that I'm talking about will be outside, but I'll also make another I'll make another video tonight on the computer that will be utilizing the models. Thank you for watching. Bye.